everybody. So today in this video, I'm going to show you some of the fun parts of putting your collage together. So a collage is a group of images, as you see behind these, I'll show you, and words that represent a theme. And in this case, we're going to be doing a collage on the story Flowers for Algernon, right? So we can see in the background that there are words over top of images, okay? Let me just back. Oh, sorry. Turn my phone off. It is 7:30 in the morning and I've got a child messaging me. So let me back that up so we can go back. What I'm going to teach you today will be the things that I said I was going to teach you. Actually, it's over here. I'm going to highlight it. I'm going to teach you how to order images. So that's this part right here. Resize, flip, rotate, add a border, and crop an image. Not necessarily in that order. These are things you will want to do when you are working in your project. If you're ahead, you can start doing those things. I don't know how to get rid of this pen. That was probably not the best idea. There we go, back. All right, figured it out. So you see on my screen, and I have, by today, we had 11 images and 8 words. So I have a pretty busy screen full of stuff, right? First thing that I'm going to show you how to do is crop. So one of the words that I want is the word disturb that's on this image. I just I inserted this whole image knowing that I just wanted the word disturbed, but I don't want the rest of that stuff. So right now I'm selected on the image, it's blue, but I want to crop. So I'm going to go up into my toolbar, and at the top you'll see where it says crop image. It's kind of like a square with little things that overhang. If I click that, a black box appears with darker black lines in the corners, and then at each point in the center of your square. And in order to crop, I need to drag that black, just the black, don't grab the blue, the black in, and you'll see it will make what I'm going to be cutting out transparent. So I'm going to move that up because I want the word disturbed. If you remember in the last chunk that we read, well, it'll be the last, Charlie was disturbed, and so was Algernon. And I really like that word, and I'll probably use that word actually when I explain, because it shows that what happens to Algernon is going to happen to Charlie. So I really thought that that was a good word to reflect some meaning of this story. So that's how to crop. I'm going to put a check mark there that I did that for you, because that was one of the things I want to show you. Now, resizing is really easy. You just saw me do it. So I am going to resize by clicking on the image and grabbing where you want to resize. And I want to resize it equally. So I'm going to grab on the corner and pull down, and it will equally resize. I'm going to go ahead and put that back the way it was and show you. If you just wanted to make it longer, you grab on the bottom and pull it down. Okay, if you wanted to make it wider, you would do the opposite. You grab on the side and pull it across, and that would make it wider. Okay, so that's resizing. That's pretty simple to do. Flipping and rotating. So I'll show that to you next. So let me make this larger so you can really see it. Okay, so to flip, I am going to grab this side and I'm going to pull it all the way across, and you will see it turns, it flips my word. Okay, so my word is now backward. Now that might have some kind of applicability in terms of an idea you're trying to get across. Maybe you want it to look like that, or you could flip an image if you wanted to. So I'm just going to flip that back because I don't want it that way. So I showed you how to flip. I'm going to put a check mark there. Rotating. If you want to rotate an image, let me move this over a little bit. At the top, there is a little pinpoint circle over your image. And if you turn that, just pull it and turn it, you will see it rotates your image, okay? So you can see that if you want to turn it so that it's along the side of your project, it could be. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that back by rotating the opposite direction. And there it is. And I'm going to resize it. All right. What else am I going to show you? Okay. So that's rotating. Adding a border. You might want a border around something to make it really pop. Okay. So again, you're going to click on your image, and again, I'm just clicking the image of the word. And at the top in your toolbar, you will see where it says border weight. You want to click on that, and you can choose how thick you want the border to be. So I'm going to start at an 8-point thickness. Now there's the border. It's just a plain border. Let's say you want to change the color of that. Right next to that, you can change the color of the border by clicking on border color. Okay, so you can choose whatever color you would like. You want it to really stand out, you might choose a brighter color like this purple. Okay, kind of neon. Let's say you want your border to actually have a design. Well, you're going to choose, oops, I should have shown you what it said. Next to the border, choose border dash. When you click on that, you will see you have some options for what your border might look like. So there I have some dots around it, okay? All right, so that showed you that part. Now, last but not least, I want to show you how to order your images. So the way that PowerPoint works, or actually any Microsoft program, which is what we're working on, works, is it layers or puts your images on top, whatever is last. So I added the word disturbed last, so it's going to actually be over top of everything else in there. The very first image I added, I can't remember, it may have been this test, will be below everything else. So it will order them or layer them in the order you added them. So let's say, for example, that I want to start resizing my images. Well, the test is behind everything, and that's fine. I like that. Okay, I'm going to drag that. I'm going to make that very big, so it's kind of in the background of everything. Kind of like that. Okay, and you're going to see that was my first image, so it's actually below everything else because that was the first thing I had in there. And I like that. I like that idea. So let's say, though, that I want this word. See how experiment is going behind fear? Experiment is going behind that blue image. Let's say that I want experiment to be on top of this blue image. So I'm going to move fear out of the way, make it a little smaller just so I can work with the word experiment. So right now it's below. Okay, let me make this bigger so you can really see what I'm doing. All right, here's the word experiment. I'm going to make the word experiment a different color by going up to my fill so you can really see what I'm working with. Let's make it this bright yellow. Oh, that's my border. Sorry about that, y'all. The word is going to be here. Okay, so here, it's gone, right? And I want that to be ahead of that. So I got to go back and grab it again. What I'm going to do, I have two choices here, actually. I can either send this image to the back, which actually I don't want to do. Think about this for a second. If I send this back, it's going to go behind everything. So what I want to do is put this in front of this image. So I'm going to, for you on Chromebook, it'll be a double click. For me, it's a right click if you're on a regular desktop or a regular laptop. And then I'm going to go to order. Now you can see you also have other options here that you don't have up on your, actually you do have it up on the other one as well. And I'm going to click on bring to front. And you will see that brings it all the way to the front, so I can actually put it right on top of this blue image that I've got. It'll actually be in front of everything, so it's all the way in the front. So when you start working with layering your images in to make them look like a collage, you might want to actually open a brand new slide. That's what I would recommend, and layer them in the way you want them to look. So if I want this to be kind of like a background image, let's say, and then I want to find another image that is, I'm going to cut it out so I know I used it. That's a big kind of horizontal image or vertical image. Come on, Charleston, get it together. So right now I've got a background, okay? So these are the backdrop of my project. Kind of like the back layer, right? And then I'm going to be layering the rest of these things in on top of them. So I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to layer this in. Now I want to turn this to add a little bit of kind of visual appeal to my project. Put this down in the bottom corner. And again, there's like no right answer to this where it goes. You just want it to look kind of visually appealing, meaning it looks good to the eye, but you also want to be able to see everything you've got there. So you want your person viewing it to be able to see the words you've chosen. Like right now, you can hardly see that word experiment. So clearly choosing yellow right now is a bad idea. So I don't really like that font, so I'm just going to change it. I don't like that font either. I think maybe it's the line I don't like, so I'm going to change my line. There we go. That's better. I think maybe that other font would be fine with that, but I'm not going to worry about that. It looks good. I'm going to bring in an image now. I like this image. I kind of feel like it's really what Charlie is all about. He becomes like this artificial intelligence. I'm actually going to take the words artificial intelligence and put them right over top of that. Now what you're going to see is as I'm layering these in, they actually go on top because like I said before, your images layer in the order you put them in. I'm going to change my font on that because I like something a little bit more, it's artificial intelligence, a little bit more kind of like weird, I guess. I like that, but I'm going to make it darker. Nope, too dark. Maybe I'll choose this color. Nope, doesn't pop. I want something that I can really see though. Okay. So there's that image. I think I really want this image to pop. So I'm going to show you something else that you can do to make an image pop. I'm going to put a text box in so that I can fill in the space behind it by filling it in with white. Now you'll see, now you can't see my words because obviously they layer in the order you put them in. So I've got to bring this to the front. Now I like this because it really pops. And when I say pop, I mean I can see it so much better, right? You can see that. So a lot of this is just going to be your own personal opinion of what you would like yours to look like, where you want your images to set in. Just remember, things are going to layer the way that you bring them in. So if you want something more toward the back, bring it in first. And like I said before, there's really no rhyme or reason to it, meaning that the way your images are in there really is just your own personal kind of choice of how you like them. Looking at this image, it's a little bit more space around it than I want, so I'm going to crop it. I've got a little space right here. I think that would be nice for a word, so I'm going to put a word in there. Oh, also keep in mind that our project isn't done at this point, so we will be leaving some space for the additional pictures and words that we are adding. And if you do the bonus quote, we are quite a ways into the project as far as what you're going to have on your collage, right? We have 11 of the 20 pictures and we have 8 of the 10 words on here. So we have most of them. Is it 8 out of 10? 7 out of 10. Okay, where do I want to add the next thing? I think I'm going to add a word here in the blue. I think the word ego would go well there. I didn't fill that with any color. I definitely could. And you can see, like, I didn't plan this, guys. It's individual for each person. I'm doing this right now fresh with you. So you're seeing me work the same way that you would work when you do your project. Now this is white and that backdrop is white. So I have a choice. Either need to put a background like I did before in, or I need to change the color on that. So I'm just going to change the color to make it stand out. I think I'll make it black. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to make this kind of interesting, and I'm going to put the words right into where he's got that broom. I'm going to turn them sideways a little bit. I might need to resize it. I think that'll look cool there. Ooh, I like that. I like where that's kind of like, and it goes along with him being a janitor, right? At work is where they drove him out. I do feel like Algernon needs to be kind of a big image on this screen. There is some black in that. I'm going to crop that down. And I know my, oops, I lost my crop. I better go back up and get it. And like I said, I know my project isn't finished. I have more images to add, so I do want to leave some space for that. Oops, that was an accident. Better undo there because I'm going to lose my image if I don't. And start again there. I'm going to put that down here. I might put a couple more images down there. This square one will look good there too, I think. And I'm looking at this one and it has a border. Maybe it might be nice to add a border to the, and move that up just a touch, just so I can make this a little bit larger. I'm going to put a border on that like I mentioned. Just so these will be right next to each other. I think that'll be kind of cool. Maybe the next image I bring in, actually I could probably put this one right there too, right? And these could all be right next. Oops, not ego. I want to move this one. Resize that so it fits. Kind of like that. I think that looks cool. That border needs to be a little bit thicker. So this doesn't stand out very well. I think what I'm going to do is put something behind it because it's an image. I can't change the color. So I'm going to put in that text box like I did before and fill that text box with a color. I think I'm going to fill it with a turquoise that's kind of reminiscent of that, reminds me of what that test looks like. And that color's not here. So I'm going to need a custom color. I'm going to go into that color wheel and see if I can get more of a turquoise that matches. And it's a little darker than that even. There we go. I think it is even a little darker than that. So let's go back to this. That looks good. I like that. So again, I've got to order that, right? I've got to bring it to the front. That'll put that right on top of that. Oopsie. Because it's a text box, I might have to click it and hit enter because it's expecting me to add text. And I didn't add text, did I? You know, I think I'm going to drag this word. Actually, no, I'm going to leave that word experiment there because I have one word left, deal with the devil. I'm going to add that to the top right-hand corner, which is a little space right here. And that means I'm going to need to turn it. And I'm going to need to resize it. And I want it to resize as close to possible as perfect. I actually don't mind that being over the other image because that white space, I'll leave that just like that. So you can see I started an entirely new screen. I personally think it makes it easier. I've never done a collage on this before. I think that looks really good so far. Hopefully that made sense to you. And it kind of helps you mentally get in your mind what you're going to do. I do still have that test image in the background, so that definitely helps. Good morning, Mrs. Zulo and Mr. Brady. So that will definitely help you when you are I think it'll help you when you are making your collage, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and stop the video, and you can rewind it to any point that you would like to take another look at something that I was working on that you feel like you wanna work on. And yeah, so that's it. And I hope you have fun with this part of the project, because it really is supposed to be kind of like fun, and you get an opportunity to be really creative.